What is up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a marvelous day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. Welcome back from the weekend. I know, it always goes by too quick, but with it being Monday, it means that you get your next video, and I'm so excited to get into it. Today, we're going back to r/deciding to be better for some stories that I hope inspire you to try and reach for some higher goals this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Our first story is from user emtard. My mental health has been declining for 10 years, and 2 months ago, I hit rock bottom. I dug myself a hole so deep that there was no way out in sight. I lost my place, quit my job, maxed out my credit card, and moved into my best friend's room. I laid in bed and waited for things to get better, telling myself I just needed more rest. Maybe I did. But I became trapped in the reality I created, and nothing was going to change until I faced my underlying issues. I was dependent on anyone and anything. It began when I was 16. I discovered boys and created an inaccurate ideology of what a relationship was supposed to be. I thought about it endlessly, trying desperately to band-aid a void of love that only I could fulfill. Over the years, it caused debilitating mental suffering that started to seriously affect my physical health. I developed every symptom of type 2 diabetes. I've had serious chest pain for years and have fainted multiple times. My body was deteriorating from substance abuse, but I couldn't be bothered to do anything about it. I felt completely and utterly worthless. I'm gradually rediscovering the value of life, and it gets better every day. For the last week, I tried putting myself first and listening to my gut. It's begun slowly by finding things that bring me joy. I started listening to podcasts and meditation music. Those moments of peace reminded me of the demeanor I once knew. I became confident enough to be honest with someone about how badly I was struggling, and I am eternally grateful for my support system. I accepted that it was okay to ask for help. Then, with a light push and local resources, I decided I didn't want to live in a constant state of void anymore. I made some calls, brushed my teeth, washed my face, set an alarm, and went to sleep at midnight. This was a big step from my habitual 6 to 10 in the morning bedtimes. I woke up with the all too familiar feeling of dread, but decided to get dressed, shower, and persevere. I started to panic when it was time to leave, but I couldn't go back to bed and admit defeat. The idea terrified me. A choice was made, and I couldn't keep endlessly waiting for other people to fix my problems. I fought for myself. When I accepted it was okay to be alone, I was overjoyed with an immense sense of freedom. I fell in love with myself again. My journey with mental health isn't over, but I regained a quality of life I never knew to be imaginable, and I now possess the wisdom to keep it that way. Progress isn't linear, but when you make the decision to prioritize your own well-being, everything else falls into place. Well, you know, P, that's right. It's like the video that I had up on Friday where if you just kind of let go and let things happen as they need to, everything will kind of work out for you. But you have to take care of yourself first. There's no way that anyone else is able to take care of you unless you're willing to let that care happen, and you need to let that care happen initially from you. Everything will fall into place when you accept that life can get better and that while it sucks now, you do have a path forward. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for telling everyone of the struggle that it's been for you, and I'm so glad to hear that you're at a better place now than where you used to be. Please update, let everyone know where you're at, and whatever you're doing, I truly wish you the best. Our next story is from user livingloli. Changing my mindset from why do people treat me like this to why do I let people treat me like this? So, I've struggled with a lot of diagnosed mental illnesses. I'm still working on recovery, but here's one of the things that truly helped me get to a better spot. I'm still young. I'm in high school. And I know there are other people who have it much worse. I grew up with some not nice people. People who'd say or do not nice things to me. For example, in elementary school, 5th grade, there were girls who always forced me to swallow different things. Chalk, soap, smoothies made of assorted foods, paint, etc. And played a game to guess the color that vomit would be. They called me a human blender. I always had the thoughts of, why do people hate me? What did I do wrong? From then on, I spiraled into a deep depression and developed that anxiety. I tried a ton of different medications and years of treatment, and it's truly helped me a lot. But it wasn't until my 6th unsuccessful suicide attempt and 4th hospital stay for me to realize it. Why do I let people treat me like this? Why do I allow people to constantly hurt me? For the first time, I put myself before others. Honestly, I felt guilty. Those people sought joy and entertainment, and they found it by terrorizing me. Letting them do those things to me made them happy. I also had the thoughts of, it's better that it's me and no one else. I'd rather take the pain than let someone else take it. And then it hit me. I'm not a blender. I'm not an object. I allowed people to treat me like a toy, and I didn't do anything about it. I am human. I became more assertive, more confident. I found myself supporting other people and doing what I could to help people who were having negative thoughts. The negative people in my life stepped back and called me a witch instead of calling me a blender. At least they could see me as a living being now. I still ended up in the hospital again. But I realized that I've made a crap ton of progress from the beginning until now. I'm still working on getting better. But slow progress is still progress. Relapses happen. Right now, I'm hitting a wall where I have never had such bad and active self-harm urges. Me looking at everything and anything and finding ways to hurt myself with it. I don't like having active suicidal thoughts or self-harm urges. It honestly scares me. I want to be better. I want to be healthy. And I am going to do everything I can to get to a better place. Thank you for reading. OP, that's heavy stuff. For one, school kids can suck. They are just trying to establish themselves in some sort of hierarchy of who's the dominant one and who's popular, and they see anyone else below them as fair game and a target. It really sucks to be at the bottom of the totem pole. But it sounds like you have finally come to a place where you've decided you are a human being, no matter how they see you, no matter what they try to do to you. And in some cases, people will go their entire lives without changing that mindset, because that's what is literally beaten into them eventually. The fact you're realizing it this young is a good sign of the future that you could have ahead of you if you stay on this path. You're not a blender, you're not an object, you're not a toy. You are a human being. And you have so much intrinsic worth to the world around you, even if you can't see it for yourself. Keep it up. Keep on this path that you're going on. Do not give up. Because trust me, it will get better. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for being an inspiration that there is a path forward, that there is a hope for a better tomorrow. Wherever you're at right now, I truly wish you the best. And seriously, do update. Let people know how things are progressing for you. Our next story is from user Teddy0088. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit happy. I registered for community college classes. My academic journey has been a huge struggle for me. It's well documented in my Reddit posts. I was accepted into NYU Film School, but couldn't attend due to not being able to afford it, and not having a credit-worthy co-signer to co-sign my student loans. I tried multiple different schools, but still couldn't get a loan. I tried community college, and it went well for about a semester. I then found myself homeless, bouncing from couch to couch, my car was then totaled, and I relapsed on drugs 7 months ago. It was my absolute lowest point, and I dropped out of community college due to getting 2 Fs on my report card. I'm also the oldest of 10 kids and feared that my youngest siblings saw me as a loser. I went from getting into one of the world's best film schools to broke, homeless, an addict, and a community college dropout. But things are starting to finally look up for me. My cousin offered to let me stay with her until I finish my community college degree. I've been sober for 6 days now. I also met with my counselor and scheduled a few more classes. I may not be accepted to NYU again, but all that matters is that I'm no longer homeless. My biggest fear is ending up like my father, a broke gambling addict that sleeps all day and works as a janitor at night. My life was on track to end up like him, but I'm going to turn some things around. Wish me luck. Well, OP, good luck in your journey. You can do it. You've got a very inspiring story where you are trying so hard to break free from circumstances that you found yourself in here. Yeah, it can suck to know that you're good enough to be with those in the top tier of what you want to do and not be able to go just because you can't afford it. But you're taking steps to at least make something of your life when you could very easily have just written yourself off. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for being an inspiration to others about the fact that there is a path forward. You can do this. I have faith in you. You don't get into NYU by accident. You got this. Stick at it. You can do that and you won't end up like your father. I wish you the best and do update. Let people know where you're at. Our next story is from user Who Brought Snacks. Bittersweet awakening. I, 25-year-old male, wasted the last several years in a semi-depressive and unproductive state due to psoriasis and other issues. To the point that my girlfriend of 7.5 years gave up on me 2 weeks ago because I'd been a dead weight for so long, while she wanted to live a healthier, more active lifestyle. Needless to say, it crushed me, and I was left sitting there wondering what my next move was. I wanted so badly to wallow in my sorrow, but for some reason, I got this urge to not get left behind in life. I'd had enough living this beta, meaningless life, and started eating healthier, running, and got a personal trainer. I've always been really tall and lanky, and I hate it. I've also signed up for 5K/10K runs in the coming months, and I reconnected with an old friend to go camping at a state park this weekend. I don't think I've ever felt more hopeful and alive than these last 2 weeks, to the point where I have zero doubts this is a permanent change and not just a phase. It feels like a whole new lease on life, and I'm kicking myself for not starting this sooner so I didn't have to lose my best friend. But I guess it was the necessary catalyst to kick things off. To anyone out there that's browsing this sub looking for motivation, it's never too late to start making better choices, and the little victories along the way will be more than enough to keep you motivated. I'm grateful for all the support I've seen on here and hope everyone finds their own version of happiness. Well, OP, keep it up. You can do this. Good for you for not letting something as devastating as that kind of a breakup hold you back as you sat there in self-pity. You know that you're better than that, and you've done things to actually make your life better. Thank you so much for sharing your story and just for telling people that there is a path forward, that those victories are worth it, and for being an example that it is never, ever too late to make choices for your life to get better. You're young, you've got your whole life ahead of you, and you're on a great path right now. Keep it up, and I promise you will look back and see this point in your life as the moment where everything changed. Thank you again so much for sharing your story, and I really wish you the best. That was r/deciding to be better, and if you want more stories of people changing their lives for the better, then feel free to check out the playlist link in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.